Hi ladies, and welcome back to my channel. As promised, I have recorded this full face of NYX Cosmetics tutorial for you guys. I really hope you learn a lot from this tutorial, and let's get right into the video. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trim my eyebrows. I already have a video of this on my channel, so you can just click on the link on my description box and watch the full video. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with this NYX 3 Steps to Sculpt contouring palette. I'm going to use this lighter shade just to powder down my brows, because sometimes I find that after I've moisturized my face, I have a lot of excess oil on my brows, and then my brows start smudging when I draw them, and it's just a mess. So just to gain that control over drawing on my brows, I'm going to go in with this powder. Then I'm going to go in with this NYX micro brow pencil. I really love this pencil. It's really thin, it's really precise. I love the fact that you can get these very light brow hair like strokes, and yeah, I think it's really cool. It's not too dark, it's not too light. I have a few videos on my channel already on drawing your brows. My routine is pretty much the same. Very important to draw, then brush with the spoolie, draw, then brush with the spoolie, which is another reason why I really like this product. The fact that it has a spoolie brush at the end is just amazing, and I honestly feel like a lot more eyebrow products should always come with the spoolie at the end. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set my brows. I'm going to go in with this Got To Be gel, and I'm just going to put it on the tip of the spoolie and just brush my brow hairs up. This is just to make sure that my brow hairs stay in place the whole day, and it also adds this really nice shine or just natural vibe to them, which I really like. Okay, so once I've set my brows, I'm going to go in with this NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop concealer. It's in the shade Golden, just to conceal my brows. Notice that I sort of start in the arch of my brow. This is just really depending on how I feel on that particular day. I do like to go in with a curved concealer brush in this corner arch sort of place of my brow. It just gives me a lot more control. However, you can go in with the straight concealer brush if that's what you have. Sometimes I use the same brush, sometimes I don't. In the front of my brows, I'm going to go in with the straight concealer brush. Again, it just gives me a lot more control and a lot more finer defined lines. I really love this concealer. I think it's so thick and creamy, and it's just really nice when you're setting your brows. It just adds a lot of definition to them. I'm just going to pull this concealer down with the same brush, sort of starting to lay the base for my eyeshadow. Okay, so once I have done blending out that concealer, I'm going to go in with this NYX eyeshadow base. I love eyeshadow base. A lot of people use concealer for this, which you can, but personally, I found that every time I use concealer as a base for my eyeshadow creases, and I just find these lines, and I just really don't like it. I also find that it doesn't perform at its ultimate best. Like, the colors don't pop severely enough when you just use concealer. So I really recommend eyeshadow base. It's really affordable as well, and I think everyone should have it and use it. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go in with this NYX Swear By It palette. I'm going to pick up this orange shade and sort of just blend that into my eye and my crease with a big fluffy brush. I'm then going to go in with this lighter shade and sort of set my concealer. This is or would be my transition color. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to go in with this brown eyeshadow just to add a lot more depth and just definition to this orange color. Usually I start with the darker color and then blend it out with the lighter color being the orange, but sometimes I do struggle with it. It's not really important. The most important part is to just make sure that it's well blended together. So just always go back and forth with the brown, add some of the brown, add some of the orange, you know, back and forth until it looks pretty much blended. This is the best way I can explain what I'm doing. Yeah, I really hope you understand. Okay, so once I have done that, I'm going to go in with this concealer brush, which I was using to conceal my brows. I'm going to flatten it out with my fingers just to make sure that it's nice and thin and more of a curved shape. This is what I'm going to use to draw in my cut crease. As you saw on my hand, I mixed some of the eyeshadow base and some of the concealer. The reason why I did this is because sometimes the eyeshadow base is a bit watery and doesn't have enough body, and I just like to mix it with this concealer because the concealer is a bit more full coverage, and again, it just gives you a lot more control when drawing in the cut crease. There's not much more I can explain when it comes to drawing in the cut crease, but what I can say is just take your time, perhaps draw in the outline of the cut crease first, and then just drag that concealer and eyeshadow base down and blend it out. But really make sure that your brush is flat and it's sharp enough, and just take your time with this. So what I've decided to do is go in with this sort of shimmery goldy color in the front and then go in with the mustard color in the middle. I then drag the gold color to sort of outline the mustardy color and give that sort of nice halo effect to my eyeshadow. I'm going to go in with a fluffy brush just to sort of blend that together and make sure that it looks well blended. I'm then going to use the same fluffy brush and go in and close that cut crease up with the brown shade, the shade that I used as my base. And I'm also going to add a bit of black just to give it a bit more definition and depth. Definition. Okay, once I'm done, I'm going to go in with this liquid liner. I love to draw my liquid liner at an angle because I'm not necessarily a big fan of winged eyeliner. So this sort of does give it a winged sort of illusion. I'm going to close this eyeliner up with just a normal black eyeshadow at the end, and then I'm going to stick on my lashes. Okay, finally, let's get into skin. I am using this NYX HD primer. Now, I got a bit of a shock when I put this onto my skin because it's white. But trust me, this primer is the bomb.com. I love it because you expect it to feel tightening on your skin, but it actually really doesn't. It feels really comfortable, and when you apply that foundation, it literally snatches and catches that foundation. So I've never tried this before, but I don't think I will ever stop using it. I'm going to go in with this NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop foundation. This is a matte full coverage foundation. I'm going to use the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop brush as well. Yeah, anyway, so this is a full coverage foundation. As you can see, it literally has caught on to this primer. I'm actually laughing because this is shocking. I've never ever used a primer that looks like this. It actually reminds me of that Milk of Magnesia primer thing that people used to do, but yeah, that isn't the ratata. Don't do that. But yeah, I love this foundation. I mean, if you know me or know anything about me, you know that I always rave about this foundation. I love the coverage. I love how comfortable it is on your skin. It's very lightweight, not too heavy, but full coverage, very nice and matte, and I just love the finish. Really awesome product. Okay, so when it comes to concealing the top of my brows, I'm gonna use a little bit of concealer and I'm gonna mix it with a bit of foundation. The reason why I do this is because I don't like the top of my brows too light. I just like it a little bit more natural, and it also helps me when it comes to blending out my foundation on my forehead. It's a lot easier to blend if you mix the concealer with some foundation. Notice that I am concealing a whole lot more of the top than I should be. This is just for me this is just easier for me when I go in and blend the foundation on the rest of my forehead. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to highlight the high points of my face. Notice I'm really trying to stretch out my face as much as possible. This really helps just avoid getting creases where I've applied my concealer. So just always make sure you stretch out your face as much as possible. Pull down your mouth, look up into the ceiling, stretch out your nose. And even when blending, it's very important that you do this because it really helps stop your concealer from creasing. I'm going to set my concealer using this NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop banana powder and just a sort of smaller fluffy brush, same brush I used to blend out this concealer. Okay, so once I've finished setting my face, I'm gonna go in with this NYX 3 Ways to Sculpt palette, and I'm gonna use the brown shade just to sort of contour my face. I really love this palette. This brown is so perfect and so nice and warm. It's not too dark, but it just gives you the right amount of contour. Once I've done contouring my face, I'm going to go in with this NYX California Beaming bronzer. I love this bronzer. It's in the shade Beach Balm. As you can see, I really just use it to blend out that contour and just bring back the warmth into my face. I love this blush because, I love this bronzer because it's got like a blushy, sort of warm, pinky tone to it. So this again sort of starts my blush process. Once I'm done blending out my bronzer, I'm going to go in with this NYX matte blush, and it's in the shade Bang Bang. I really like it. I like more deeper sort of tones of blush because I really think that that just further contours my face, and I love the fact that it's matte because my look today is more on the matte side. Okay, so this is another reason why I really like this 3 Ways to Sculpt palette. I'm going to go in with the lighter shade just to sort of bring back that highlight under my eye. Sometimes when you are bronzing and, blushing up your face, you can sort of lose that or go too far into your highlights. So I always just go in with this shade and just push it back out again and make sure that my under eye is still popping. I'm gonna go in with this NYX Bear With Me setting spray just to make sure that my makeup is set and is it just really helps further blend and just bring my makeup to life. A step I've recently learned to include in my makeup routine is just sort of this buffing technique. I go in with this brush, make sure I dust off all the excess product and just sort of buff out any excess product, just to make sure that my face is just well blended as a whole. Finally, I'm going to go in with this NYX lip crayon. It's in the shade Cappuccino. I'm going to be using this to line my lips, and it's pretty straightforward. I'm just going to line my lips using this crayon. I really like it. It's really nice and soft, and it's comfortable on your lips. My lips are quite dry, but yeah, I'm just gonna blend that together using my lips, and I'm gonna go in with this NYX lip lingerie. It's in the shade dusk to dawn. I'm gonna let it sit on my lips before I blend it with my upper lip. This just allows it to just dry a bit more, and it's a lot easier to blend. And I'm gonna go in with this angled brush. You can use any regular brush for this. I just use any brush that's closest to me, and I'm gonna help blend that lip color with my lip liner. And again, it's just a whole lot of back and forth, tapping your lips together, and until you feel like that's properly blended or blended enough for you. I'm gonna finish off this look with a bit of highlights. This is not a NYX highlight, it's just a random highlighter I found on my desk. Yeah, this is more on the matte side. I just thought I'd add a bit of highlighter just to give it a bit more of a glow and make it just pop a little bit more. I really like this look. I really hope you enjoyed watching me bring it to life. If you do like this video, please give it a huge thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.